today's video, we're going to be talking about litter training your rats. There's been a lot of questions lately popping up in several of the groups I'm in, which is why I'm making this video. So I thought first I'd talk about some common litter boxes, what I use, and then talk about ways that I make it work for my rats. So first of all, litter boxes. The common thing that I see most in rat cages are these either triangular or even slightly square shaped boxes that have a grid on the top so that the rats can't touch the litter. I find this to be problematic because the rats like to stand on things to pee, and I've found that a lot of times the rats in the cages with those kind of litter boxes will choose anywhere else to use besides that litter box. So if you're using that and having trouble with your rats using the litter box, take the grid out, at least until they're used to going in that space, and associate it as a bathroom. The second kind is just the traditional little corner box that you often see sold for like guinea pigs and rabbits. The problem with that is they are very small. Honestly, even when I had a guinea pig that was small, she did not like that litter box because she couldn't get in it all the way without turning at a funny angle, and it was just really awkward. So I would recommend stick that somewhere else, use it as a food bowl, something, but it really is not ideal for a full-grown rat. It might work well if your rats are still pups, still small, and are learning at that age, then sure, go ahead, use it for a litter box. And then the third kind that I want to talk about is basically using anything else as a litter box. So I've seen some people use dollar store baskets, I've seen plastic containers, I've seen cardboard boxes, I've seen actual cat litter boxes. These are much better options. And so what I actually use is, these are Sterilite or Rubbermaid shoe boxes. This one even has a picture of shoes on the front. And it is 14 inches long by 8 inches wide by 4 7/8 inches high, or 35.6 centimeters by 20.3 centimeters by 12.4 centimeters. And it is also listed as a 6-quart or 5.7 liter storage container. And just putting that in your cage, obviously your rats are gonna chuck it or move it or whatever, and that's a problem. So I have made some small holes in each corner with a hot screwdriver or an awl, which is basically like a sharp pointy tool that is used for many things. And then I have attached lanyard clips and pipe cleaners, so I can clip this into basically any corner of my cage on the top. I even had all 4 done at one point and had it hanging from the roof of the cage, which brings me to my next point. Why I like this is because it's actually big enough for a rat to stand in, and you can see that here. Fred would have no issue, and this is actually almost the same size as Fred, the real Fred. Fred would have no issue standing in this, climbing in it, going down and up, and the high sides mean that he can play and chase his brothers in the litter box and not kick tons of litter out. Really important. Why would you want to hang a litter box from the roof, you might be wondering? Well, that will come in the tips and tricks section, but let's just say rats are lazy. So the next thing that you want to consider is, let's say you have your litter boxes, they are big enough, but your rats are still not using them. Here's what you need to do next. Go out and get a pea stone. What's a pea stone, you might ask? Basically, it is any rock approximately the size of your palm that is somewhat smooth. This one actually came from my garden. You can see it's not perfectly smooth, and that's okay. It's not sharp enough to cut their feet or anything. I had it this way up. It is clean. I cleaned it. And the reason that is for some reason that no one really understands, rats like to pee on smooth surfaces. Don't know why. And it needs to be this size so that they can very easily fit all 4 little ratty feet on the rock. If you've ever had them out playing and they climb over your phone and you notice a dribble of pee, it's the same concept. So you don't have to use a rock. I have heard of some people using a glass lid from a candle, like those Yankee candles or things like that, where they just take the lid off, clean it, and put that in, and it serves the same purpose. So all you need is something smooth, or smoothish, because some of mine are even more bumpy than this. This is actually the smoothest one I own, and they don't care. They use it anyway. So something smooth-ish. So now we're going to talk about tips and tricks, and for that I'm going to need to take you to my cage. Please note, my cage has not been cleaned today. It needs to be swept, but I felt like for this video that might be a good thing so I can show you what to do for helping your rats out. My vacuum is in the process of being cleaned, which is why the cage has not been cleaned yet. So, hold tight. So first we're going to focus our attention in the top level. And here what you'll see is this orange container in the back is actually a litter box. And Poochie's in this hammock, so that's going to make it a little awkward for me to show you. But that's a litter box up there, and that's actually where I need to put the pea stone back. So I'm going to do that real quick. So, rats are lazy. The first thing they do when they wake up is go find somewhere to pee. So, putting a litter box close to where they're sleeping is really important in helping your rats achieve success at this. So you'll note this litter box is positioned strategically between this hammock and that one. Everybody sleeps in different places, so I've found making sure that it's where they can all reach it is really important. That's litter box number 1. Let's back up and I'll show you the next one. Our next litter box is in this back corner, and you'll note that this is placed here for 2 reasons. One, you can see the water bottle in that very back corner back there. That drips into the litter box, so that helps keep my mat clean. The second reason it's there is that it actually helps when they wake up from this basket. They climb down into that litter box and they will poop in it and they will pee in it. It's also strategically located at the bottom of the stairs because I have occasionally hung double layer hammocks or triple layer here, and that means they can climb out onto that ramp and go right to the litter box. And then my third one, which they've kicked all their food everywhere, so please pay that no mind. There's a hammock under here, and if you look, there's the third litter box. Also strategically placed in a back corner because my boys like to poop and pee along this back edge of the cage, and it's right near the hammock again, so the first thing they can do is go poop in it. And if you'll notice, these are dirty. They all are used, every single one. This little guy is my lazy boy who likes to go right next to the box instead, and even he will use them if they're spaced out appropriately. So the next thing we're going to talk about is tips and tricks. So you've seen strategic placement as tip number 1. Next we're going to talk about teaching them how to use the potty. So George just woke up. That's why his face is messy, because he hasn't washed his face yet. And my husband's playing with the children because it's a day off. So you'll notice that there's some poops here and there. I cleaned this last night, but they kick some out a little bit here and there, and Mr. George doesn't always like to use the litter box. He likes to be lazy and go right next to it. So we are going to pick those up. So if you're litter training your rats, that's something you'll need to do every single day at least once. So you can do this however you feel comfortable. Put on gloves and pick them up with your hands. Just pick them up with your hands, whatever. I prefer to use a broom because I find it easier with the fleece. And I sweep all the poops to a location. And then I dump them in the box. Very simple, but that helps to reset in their mind. That's where you go potty, is in the litter box. And I try when I'm sweeping to spread them out amongst different areas of the cage. So that they have the understanding that, hey, everybody uses all the litter boxes. I don't know if that's necessary or not. It's just something that works well for me with my slight OCD. It makes me feel better if all the boxes are similarly used. So, the next thing that's important to note, and this is kind of a tip or trick, is you'll notice I use a fleece pad and that my litter boxes do not have fabric in them. They have a different substrate. I really feel like this helps them to understand that's not the same as this. It's a bathroom. So different substances. If you use shavings in your cage, then use pellets or paper or something in the litter box. If you use puppy pads, then use something else in the litter box. If you use fleece, do not put fleece in the litter box because you don't want to confuse your rats. You want to set them up for success. So that is my last tip. And then the other thing you can do, and this has helped some of my other animals, I'm not sure if it really helps the rats, but it can't hurt anything and it doesn't hurt them, is if you catch your rat waking up and going to the wrong place, just pick them up and put them in the correct place. They may not use the litter box when you do this, but I do think it helps to break the habit And it can help you also to realize, hey, my litter box may need to be scooched over because for whatever reason, they don't want to go in that spot. They want to go somewhere else. So you do that. You put it in the right place. And oftentimes, if your rats are consistently going in the wrong place for you, it means that's the right place for them and that's where they want their bathroom. So use that as a guide and move your litter box where they go. And your rats will be much happier that way. Now look, it's taken me, what, 2 minutes to sweep the cage a little bit and put the poops in the correct place. And they're all excited and happy. There's some popcorns from George. I hope this has helped, and if it has, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, post them down below, and we would really appreciate it if you didn't find it helpful. Tell me why, because I can't improve my videos if I don't know what you need. So please let me know in the comments or send me a message or whatever. Thanks for watching. Bye.